Hello and welcome to our value review, where we ask ourselves the question, is Forza Horizon 3 really worth its price? Forza Horizon 3 can be described as a spin-off title from the Forza Motorsport racing simulation series that evolved into its own juggernaut. Forza Horizon 3 takes a racing simulation and blends it into an open-world racing game like Need for Speed or The Crew. Is the precise control that you have to have over your car in this open-world racing simulation an enjoyable experience? More so, will you be getting the bang for your buck? Let's find out using our unique value-based review system. Forza Horizon 3 takes place in Australia at the Horizon Festival, which you lead as its boss. Your job is to gain fans, expand the festival, and overall have a fantastic time. How do you do so? By racing, of course. A set of events are the heart of a racing game, and the game contains plenty of these. Thanks to the location of Australia, there is a large variety of environments to race on, which can change the physics of the driving to some degree. Rainforests have rougher and harder to traverse terrain than asphalt roads, for example. The game includes a dynamic weather and time of day system. If it rains, the road becomes wet and you need to brake sooner to be able to make the turns. The game allows you to traverse its open world freely, and it contains all the things you can expect from a traditional open world game nowadays, like stunts and collectibles in the form of billboards that you have to run over. The game offers a multitude of options for you to play the game your way. Do you want to have a more challenging experience? Then increase the difficulty by either increasing the difficulty of the opposing bots, or by turning off the multitude of assistances the game gives to you, like automatic gear shifting or the game's rewind feature. The best part is that you're rewarded for increasing the difficulty of the game by getting a multiplier for the currency points you earn. The game had quite a rocky performance at its launch on PC, which prompted many people to skip over the game. The latest performance patch has recently hit the game in conjunction with the Hot Wheels expansion, and we are very happy with the performance. We are able to play at high graphics settings at 80 frames per second with an RX 480 graphics card and an FX 8350 CPU at 1080p. We could of course crank the graphics up even further and play at a lower frame rate. The choice here is yours. We did experience a very small amount of crashes that forced us to restart the computer though. The story of the game is kept very light, and as we've already mentioned, about building up the Horizon Festival. You need fans to expand your festival, and you gain fans by doing races, drift courses, and other stunts present in the game. Once you gain enough fans, you're able to expand your festivals, which unlock further new events with which to gain fans, and so forth. It is simple, but it gets the job done. The tone and atmosphere of the game are light-hearted and really get you into the mood for a festival and partying. An aspect that we really enjoyed is that the drivers of the festival are populated by the people in your friends list, and if they play the game themselves, the level is always shown to you. This really makes you feel like you're always actively racing against your friends, even if you're just playing against computer-controlled players. In many other racing games like Need for Speed, one can oftentimes turn a corner by braking at the last second and then making a crazy drift around it. This is much more difficult to do in Forza, as a racing is much closer to a racing simulation. In a racing simulation, realism kicks in, and to make a good turn, one must hit the brakes much sooner. The ideal line shown to you in the game even gives you an idea on when to do so depending on its color. Therefore, the handling is very well made in this game and gives you a very tense and enjoyable racing experience. While Forza Horizon has been adapted to play more like an arcade racer, the roots of the simulation of the original franchise are still there and also clearly visible by the virtue of being able to tune aspects of your car. This gives Forza Horizon 3 a very unique angle to its gameplay, with which it is able to please the fans of both arcade and simulation racing games. This is especially true by letting the player choose many aspects of the difficulty settings, like the ideal line, transmission modes, the ability to rewind a couple of seconds, and more. Therefore, the player is able to shift the style of play in either direction. The main gameplay consists of attending the events in the game. Most of these are standard races, either an A to B sprint course or a lapped circuit, where you race against 11 opponents. There are also smaller events that are part of the world map, like a small drift course or a stunt jump, which act as nice additions to the variety of the gameplay. You can also challenge randomly roaming computer-controlled players on the world map to an impromptu race. Winning those unlocks special, more dangerous street races. Sometimes you will even experience a special event like the race against the helicopter right at the start of the game that gives you something nice to look forward to. The Horizon Festival events mentioned earlier all take place in a section of place in the world map and are official races, without traffic coming into your way. Things can be spaced up a bit. There is an illegal underground racing ring, which you can also participate in, despite the warnings of your assistant. These so-called street races will have you swerving around traffic, typically at night, and should instill a greater adrenaline rush in you. These kind of races add to the large amount of variety and content present in the game, and make sure there is something for everyone in this game. Moving on, Forza Horizon 3 greatly integrates your friends and user-created content into the game. There are many races that you're able to set up yourself and customize by allowing you to set the amount of laps, the allowed car classes, and many more settings. You will then be able to upload this event, and it will be shown for your friends as an option if they choose to attend the event's location. This is a neat feature and exemplifies the care and polish put into the game. All your cars can be changed with customizations, which can be more than just cosmetic. You're able to upgrade the cars to make them stronger for events. This can also be done automatically. If you just want to get into races as quickly as possible, you can just use this option. Cars are separated into tiers, and events can be limited to a certain one. You can oftentimes upgrade a car past its own tier, which makes it slip into a higher one and therefore disables it from racing in those limited events. What you want to have is a car that is upgraded to the top of its respective tier, so make sure you avoid overdoing your upgrades and just get a new car for a higher level. One point of critique that we want to mention here is that the trees can be very inconsistent in destructibility. Usually, something like width is an indicator if a tree is breakable. However, some thicker objects were breakable, while some smaller ones were rock solid. With a great variety in terms of trees and vegetation, it became quite hard to judge on which trees one could risk driving through and which ones needed to be avoided. Overall, in terms of gameplay, the game focuses on the racing and driving and fleshes it out fully. It does the racing part extremely well and really impressive with the available options. If you enjoy the pure driving, you'll find great enjoyment in this game. For other people, the game may become a bit repetitive. Before anyone asks, yes, the game does have online play where you can race against other players. Entering online play is easily done, either through a lobby with friends or by pressing the appropriate button in the menu. You will be pretty quickly thrown into an online session with other people, in which you are able to compete in races. It was an absolutely awesome experience to play against other players. The computer-controlled racers always drive so perfectly, and are in some sort of fashion boring because of it. Human imperfection is something truly beautiful, as you will see a lot of chaos coming from it. Other players will probably crash from time to time, and the sight is just pure fun. A good time can come from racing with other people and even having conversations with them while doing so. A praise to Microsoft for the implementation of crossplay between PC and Xbox One also needs to be given here. All in all, the multiplayer adds a lot of value to the game as it shakes up the racing to be something truly special. As Red Valley Gaming, we try to review games a bit differently to others by giving a second review score in form of a monetary value. With this value, we try to give you an objective measure of the content of the game, which is evaluated separately from the view score we give to the game. The best way to do so is by comparing it to other games that we've reviewed in the past. Let's just use Need for Speed as a comparison, which we valued at $28. Using data from howlongtobeat.com, Forza Horizon 3 edges out the main playtime of Need for Speed with 17 hours compared to 15 hours. The difference becomes a lot starker when going for a completionist approach. The environmental variety and open world in Forza Horizon 3 is miles ahead of Need for Speed. While Need for Speed only features a city as a location, Forza includes a city, deserts, plains, and a rainforest. The terrain you drive on greatly affects the handling of the car in Forza, as it has much larger simulation complexity that also includes fine-tuning of the vehicle properties. Forza offers a vast array of options, adjusting difficulty, graphical fidelity, and generation is much more fleshed out than in Need for Speed. Both games feature really good car customization, but in terms of atmosphere, Forza once again takes the cake, in part due to Need for Speed's incomplete day and night cycle. Last but far from least are the online features of both games. Need for Speed is always online, while Forza Horizon 3 offers you a vast amount of options. All in all, this will prompt us to value Forza Horizon 3 at very close to its MSRP. While the game is extremely polished and offers a great variety in its racing, there is little else to the game other than driving, which means it would need to drive very hard for us to give it its full value. However, the game actively tries to sell you things in the game. Each time you try to buy a car or its upgrades, you will be asked if you would like to purchase the stuff with car tokens, a microtransaction currency instead. Then is the integration of Groove Music, which the game also asks you to subscribe to with a free trial period. And finally, the game played unskippable trailers for its Blizzard Mountain and Hot Wheels DLC packs with a prompt afterwards asking you to purchase them. This is quite frankly ridiculous, and greatly diminishes the quality of the game, making it feel more like a free mobile game, rather than the AAA behemoth it really is. All of this combined is why we are unable to value the game any higher than $49. The excellent polish and quality in the racing, along with the beautiful and vast amount of options, makes us give the game a high rating of 89. Any fan of racing games should jump on this game immediately, as it looks to be one of the definitive games of the genre. The vast amount of options, the high degree of car simulation, and the ability to play the game your way makes it a great purchase for a vast spectrum of racing fans. The general gamer will probably enjoy the game too, but might feel like the game is a bit repetitive, since it includes little else but the racing. For the game to get a higher score from us, it could have either improved in the story or added in something out of the ordinary for a racing game that would make the game appeal to a larger group of people. Overall, if you're interested in a great and somewhat realistic racer, Forza Horizon 3 is a great place to go. Thank you for watching. We hope you liked our review and would greatly appreciate any like or comment. Do you have any questions or feedback for us? Please let us know. If you want to vote yourself on how much a game should cost, you should come and check out our website. And if you want to hear more from us, please hit that subscribe button below or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. The links are in the video description below. All in all, take care. We hope to see you around.